will be the boys out there for VGR. No James Benson, as he was injured in their most recent victory against the Montclair Mounties, who are inside the Kelly division and finally picked up their first win of the year. As Mahoha now back over in the corner and taken away by Gersafi. Mahoha's looked very good in a lot of their contests, even their losses, as kicking one away was Lomax, and he's in their jerseys. Now here comes the skate forward from Steviator. Another shot, another save by Lomax. Lomax has a couple to get things started. So VGR in the early going, picking up a couple of shots. And we'll try to keep track of those as best as we can out here. They don't have it up on the ring. Excellent netminders. Lomax and Ferrara have both done a sensational job. They've got a team save percentage somewhere in the 920s, which is always great, especially when you have an excellent tandem. But still finding their way offensively. Less than $15,000 backed by a rock-solid 5-day money-back guarantee. You drive with confidence. Drive with Oberoi Mazda Morristown. Check the link in the description below for more details. Gersafi running point out there with Gavin Farrell, who leads the team with 6 goals. As they run point, that's back over to the corner. Handling it now is Steviator. Pair of helpers for him on the season. Gavin Roberts in the struggle in front with Ryan Piccolo. As they both try to take up some space in front of the crease and jostle each other away for position. Another look from the top. Now a turnaround to the outside. Picked up Gersafi, and he's sealed away. Good stick handling that time by Landolfi, but fails to get it outside of the zone. Now, as Mahoha have really struggled to get anything going on their offensive end. No shots on Hughes so far. He's had to handle the puck one time. Actually, as a matter of fact, very few shots altogether. Here's Berliner. And that one misses over on the backside board. Another look over on the far end. There's David Ness, still looking for his first points of the season. Back by the point, turned around by Winters. And, I mean, he's just incredibly pesky, and he'll work really hard to try to knock that puck away from you. Cleanest. As another work forward, a drop by now by the 22 of Gavin Farrell, and another one on low line. But remember, they did lose Yanniadis and Jack Budnick, who were both big-time contributors last season. And nope, as we see him over on the bench for VGR, face-off in their offensive zone. 4 shots to none. Mahoha again struggling to break out. D2D passing across. Roberts taps one over to the corner. Turned around now by Keegan Saborski. Kept in. Saborski. Over on the near side now, another pickup by Stratton. Now feed out in front, slowing it down in front of Lomax, and that'll end up back behind the net, as pushing the net back on its moorings will be Ryan Pucco. Well, now it went Gersafi. Loses it, Catapano will pick it up. And Catapano gets knocked over, but again, no hands in the air. Only had the 1 penalty so far. Here goes, waits, delivers, and just wide, as Lomax had the glove there. Should it have found its way inside the post. Another pickup, Winters whiffs on it. A little bit of zeal on that skate. Now whiffing on this shot is Gersafi. Looking back, trying to push it over the blue line, and well, VGR will kick it themselves before floating it right back into the zone. About halfway through period number 1, still scoreless here on Big State Sports, and we'd like to thank you so much for tuning on in, and we'd invite you, of course, to subscribe, because I'll tell you what, we've got so many games coming up. A lot of basketball, but of course, a ton of hockey, and just this weekend alone, we'll have right around 20 broadcasts from today going all the way through Sunday. So the best way to keep up with that is to hit that subscribe button. And of course, hit that notification bell so that you're alerted for all of our free broadcasts. And here comes Gersafi. Gersafi, he's got a couple of Mahoha skaters there, but the only one that matters was Connor Lomax waiting in front. 5th shot of the game for Lomax. Takeaway. Jaden McHugh over the, oh, not quite over the blue line. Absolutely hammered by Keegan Saborski. And those are the types of big, clean hits that you'll learn over at the Tier 3 juniors level. And Saborski, of course, a member of the New Jersey Renegades. We saw him playing at the Ice Vault during the Hitman Classic a couple of months ago. Another one flipped up, unable. A lot of really solid teams in the Co-op North, of course, including KJS United, who just tied with Mendham last night, but still remaining undefeated through 3 games. Defending champions coming out of the men in division. He got 41 in his first 2 seasons, and again, he's just continuing to grow into a sensational scorer. But of course, now some reinforcements coming with Vellante and Winters, and all of a sudden they're starting to look like the Mahoha of old. able to score for fun in some games. Another turnaround in front. Lomax able to fall down on top of it, and he stops another. Defenseman Berliner. Back for Lomax. And a steady tread in this game. Not a lot of shots. As here we go, off to the races. And now speeding into the zone is Farrell. Farrell with the rush on that, takes the shot on Lomax and gets it right in the webbing of his glove. Nice stop by Connor Lomax. Premium, by the way, especially at the end of that first period as they rip a shot, blocked in front. Nothing for Lomax, so it stopped all 7 sent his way. Winning in front, moves it over to the right side where some open ice is. And trying to knock that one around was Landolfi. Farrell trying to do it all by himself, rings one off the post and goes wide. No touch that time, I believe, for Lomax. Minute into the period, already a charge ahead from Farrell, and you can already see here for VGR, certainly missing Benson a little bit as an explosive hit over on the near side sends the 2 combatants flying. Now pick up by Sabor. One will slide all the way to the other side for Ian Harmon, and he's hit hard on the way. Settled down, another shot, Lomax save, making it look easy there as I think sensational screen in front as Mahoha now on the power play, but gonna expire now in just 2 seconds. So back to 5-on-5, looking for the wraparound, and Lomax is right there as he holds one over from the blue line and fires one at Lomax. But, you know, not one that normally locks teams down to this extent in terms of shots on goal. A couple of saves now from Lomax, though, for that first period. They've been able to hold some opponents down as here comes Farrell. Winters gets knocked away from the puck, up in the air. Huge slamming hit coming down from Pucko. Now we go, launches it in the zone from just beyond the red line. Handled by Lomax. Safely scoops one up in the air, although recovered now by Slattery. Slattery from distance, looks back on it. Listen up, Verona Morrison has your back. Discover affordable, dependable vehicles for less than $15,000. Backed by a rock-solid 5-day money-back guarantee. Drive with confidence. Drive with Verona Morrison. Check the link in the description below for sweat about it anymore. Lomax and Ferrara were a sensational backup tandem for Talon Muscolino, but an outstanding career as Pucko plants Gavin Roberts into the ice in front. Another shot, that one whistles wide. 30 seconds into the power play now. Another throw across, Grisafi. Mahoa giving him some space, pass over to the low slot. Back over to the top now for Farrell. Farrell, Grisafi. 2 most dangerous scorers on the ice now for VGR. Turning around Farrell. High forecheck coming in from Juckett, a good defensive forward. Skims it back to Grisafi. Waits, delivers, another save. Breaking away from their first loss of the season. They lost to Scotts Plains Fanwood back on Tuesday the 9th, but then beat Montclair nearly a week later over on the 15th, and they've had a lot of rest since that game. Politsko trying to knock one loose. No clear so far on this power play for Mahoha. VGR back to the corner. Here's Farrell with the screen. Another shot. Lomax kicks it away and actually knocks it back into his... Good face-off win by Stevie Etter. Up to the top now, Grisafi, another one on net. Lomax, first big rebound he's given up today. He's been able to keep it in front, and that's one of the big reasons why Lomax has been so good. And the key difference between him and Ferrara, because besides that, they are pretty much equal, but Lomax just a little bit better so far, at least to start the season, at controlling those rebounds. Another one gets messy, but Selfo trying to win this draw with 20 seconds left. Vellante charging through. Overskated just a little, but no harm, no foul as he gets back in time. 10 seconds remaining on the Verona Morristown power play. Over by the corner now. Peraza looking up top. Grisafi has a little bit of space, looking around the screen, and Lomax jumps on top. Second effort, another Lomax save, as that one is loose off to the side by the crease. And a couple of good stops there by Lomax has halted all 21 as he lays down on top of it, and they keep on battling for it. How about this Mahoha defense out here? Jack Hughes as their goaltender, wearing the number 86. Wonder who his favorite NHL player is. Another one back from the blue line. Gets around one. As let's get feathered over towards the corner. Catapano and Lomax will be the first ones there. Turning it around, another pickup by Peraza. Back down low. VGR getting some pucks deep here early in period number 3. Another shot from Vellante. And now another pickup as this is thrown ahead. American Dream Hall yesterday where Trinity Hall and Hoboken, Weehawken, Secaucus put together a classic in the first ever Frozen Dreams Invitational Final. Trinity Hall won that one 3-2, but both offenses got red hot in the final period. Hoboken added a couple of goals, and Trinity Hall, of course, adding their third and game-winning score. Berliner, he's in. Long shot on Lomax. Again, glanced aside. 24-24 for Lomax. Taking down Randolph in a Farrell as Catapano frustrated on the miss. Farrell working in, sharp angle off the post. Lomax got a piece of it as well. Another speed ahead. Here's Roberts. Oh, and it's blocked away. Excellent work by Kyle Ensinger, standing him up. And a good security job, laying in wait. Grisafi breaks through. Now a man in front. Excellent back check by Polichko. And a little pinball action there. Moves all the way around, but nothing ending up on Lomax. Knocked down to Catapano. I'll give VGR this in this game too. They've knocked down some of the sturdiest bodies on this Mahoha team. We've seen both Catapano around from Mahoha. And VGR, they've got to find a way to get back to what they were doing in period number one, where they dominated both, shots on goal and time of possession, really making it difficult for Mahoha to do much of anything. As a turnaround there, and that goes about 6 inches wide of Lomax. Over the blue line, Deeks inside, but too many bodies out there in the white and red sweaters. Again, a good defensive lockup by Mahoha. Catapano has it taken away. Good chance now for VGR, and it's blocked in front. Excellent work by Ryan Junkett. Another look, another shot by Farrell, and another draw back to the top for VGR. Berliner, and over by Lomax, played by the PAs, perfect here. Lomax has stolen a ton of opportunities away like a smooth criminal. Guides that one off to the side. Now in the corner, trying to force it ahead is Polichko. Turning around is Harmon. Looking to challenge on net, will be unable to do so. Being aggressive, pulling your goaltender. I mean, you saw it with Morristown against Morristown against Randolph. As here's a shot, and another one blocked away by Pucco. They pulled their goaltender on a 5-on-3. They made it 6-on-3, and then scored on the next power play that they had. As there's another shot coming in on Lomax. Second effort makes the save. Lomax, 31 stops so far. 90 seconds left in the game. Cleared just out of the zone. Skate hard into the zone, trying to set the defenseman in front of him. Farrell putting on a one-man show. Gets it poked around. Good chance, and kicked away again by Pucco. Penalties now over. Back to even strength. The net is empty. 6-on-5. Farrell looking to navigate to the inside, and off now for Peraza. Once again, won by Mahoha, and that's been a huge advantage for them today. Taking a ton of face-offs in the dot as Mahoha jamming things up over in the corner. Now thrown around by Steviator. Keeping it inside the blue line. Thrown ahead off of Vellante. Vellante looking for a break. This gets thrown across to open ice. Walsh is there trying to poke it loose and succeeds by Peraza. Now he'll scoop it up. They try to slap it out of the zone. It out. Back for Mahoha inside the road zone. Lomax. As he'll gather it and send it the other direction. Here we go again. A pickup by Saborski. Throws one up in the air, and Mahoha have back-to-back shutouts. What a job by Connor Lomax. Back-to-back scoreless efforts for this defense.